Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time in the form of a post-game commentary slash replay type thing as Fiddlesticks in the jungle. So I have to put a little bit of a disclaimer on this video. I have been getting such trash teammates that I said, you know what, I'm going to pull out my ace for this one and we'll see what happens. So you get to see the teams here. The oddity is the Shaco support. You'll see that that is into Blitz, and the interesting thing between our bot lane is both of them can blink, so they both have a way to get away if Blitzcrank pulls them. What's really odd though is the enemy bot lane, plays this matchup really, really poorly, and that just complicates things exponentially for them. So right here I was definitely concerned about the Kayle having Grasp of the Undying. You'll notice Annie actually has Comet. I don't know why she's running Exhaust of all things, but she kind of is, and the way things play out, that's something that actually does kind of work to her advantage, I guess. Anyway, the Malphite has pressed the attack. I'm over here. We'll put the timeline away for now and bring up the inventory. So, I can't show my runes right here, but I'll try to show them at the end of the game. What you need to know is I am running Arcane Comet, Mana Flow Band, as you can see from the flickering light here, Celerity, and Gathering Storm. And then for the sub-tree, I am running Inspiration. It is the free stopwatch, as you can see that in my inventory right now, and also the 5% CDR on everything. So that's why Drain has a 3.8 cooldown instead of 4 seconds. So the big trade-off here is you have to ask yourself, do you want Mana Flow Band or Ultimate Hat? And the thing that should make the difference is, do you think you'll be able to get the blue buff more often than not? If you do, you're free to go Ultimate Hat because then you can ult more often. If not, then go Mana Flow Band and just get a little bit of extra mana sustain. So right here, they kind of get torn up by the Shaco box. Unfortunately, Ez eats the headshot here. Ended up giving him a potion though, so I guess it wasn't really that bad. So right here I was hoping Ez would help me clear that, but he didn't. And the nice thing about the camera is you actually get to see what all is going on over here for shenanigans. So right here I knew he was going to pull it. Sadly, that Shaco box doesn't really get as much done, and it ends up giving a little bit of gold over to them. So, with that ward there, I can smite that and just be on my way. Their whole plan kind of failed, and while all this is going on, Ez can go down here and actually get the EXP and everything. So you'll see that's 1 minion they missed, this is 2 and 3, and they're still over here. So the Shaco boxes don't actually give anything, keep that in mind. So missing those 3 minions may not seem like much, but the thing is, well, Ez will hit level 2 early, especially since some of that was solo EXP, and then he can really start to poke them. But anyway, here we have King, because I pushed the wrong key. So right here I'm going for the chicken camp because I have the Dark Wind, so I'm free to bounce the bird around. Overall, I don't even really use the potions if I remember correctly. Now I'm trying to let those die to the Lingering Burn. The thing is, I don't actually have the Kindle effect here since I don't have any bonus HP. That's my biggest complaint about the whole Hunter's Talisman thing, and it's why I kind of want to get this upgraded ASAP. Once I actually do have the Kindle effect active, my clears are going to be much, much faster. So I put the second point into Drain because I need to clear more. I'm not really going to be able to gank early, and I can always take Q at level 4. Now, the thing is, Garen somehow killed Malphite. I'm not entirely sure what happened, it's just that's a big swing in Garen's favor. And I was kind of concerned we were going to have a Mega Tank Malphite, but it doesn't come to pass. So the good news is Fiddle can actually melt those. He has to get some MR, otherwise I will make very short work out of him. So right there is level 4. And then the red buff and the burn will kill those. So right here, I knew Kane was going to be in the area, and I'm looking for him. What I didn't know was he was going to be this low, and we're going to collide right here. So he's forced to go through the wall, and I really don't care what he does, because if the two of us fight, he's going to die. I'm one level over him, which means I have the rank 2 drain, and then I'm healthy, so like his options are really, really limited. And you'll see what I mean, because we will have a 2v2 in the top lane in a little bit, and it doesn't go the way Kane wants it to. So anyway, let me explain how Fiddle works, because he's not really played that much anymore. He's really low in terms of win rates, because a lot of people just don't play him right. So right there was the Comet, the Drain, the Fear, and then Garen stabbed him. And keep in mind, he doesn't have teleport now, so that is crippling for him. Normally for Fiddle, you can't do these early ganks, but if the enemy does something stupid, punish them. So right here I grab Blue Smite because I want to keep them in my Crow Storm. And then I grab the Amp Tome just because I am going to try to get more damage dealt. So anyway, Fiddle's passive is Dread. So when you stand still for 1.5 seconds, you get a surge of movement speed for another 1.5 seconds. Now keep in mind, this combos with Celerity. So after I move, I think it takes me a little while to start doing this. You can get like 6 extra AP. It may not seem like much, but the way your drain works, that can help you actually secure stuff. So right there is level 5. Kind of wanted the Scuttle Crab, but you can see on the map that it's already gone. And right there, Kane narrowly missed. Anyway, your Q is Terrify. It's 1.25 second Fear, and that's at rank 1. It goes up 1/4 of a second for every rank, so it caps at 2 1/4 seconds. Now this is targeted, which means it's very handy for dealing with the really mobile guys. It's just it doesn't quite come to pass here. Your W is Drain. This is Fiddle's big clear move. Unfortunately, it is extremely expensive in terms of its mana cost, so you kind of need Blue Buff or Mana Flow Band to use this. Basically what happens is you create a tether. The tether will siphon HP from the enemies. It will heal Fiddlesticks for most of the damage dealt. And the neat thing about tethers is this actually does allow you to hit some of the untargetable enemies, such as Fizz while he's using his Playful Trickster, and Vladimir using his Blood Pool. So anyway, your E is Dark Wind, another targeted ability. You throw a crow that bounces around like Brand's Pyroclasm. It will silence everything it hits on first contact, not on any subsequent ones. It's 1 second silence duration, and it bounces 6 times, prioritizing those that are being drained. Then finally, your ult is Crow Storm. So right here I have to wait for the blue buff in case you're wondering. You will channel for 1.5 seconds, just long enough to proc your passive, then you blink a short distance, and you unleash hell. So this is a pretty devastating spell in its own right, and it's AoE, which makes it even better. Now, unfortunately, I'm a little short on level 6, because I want to go gank. So first things first, I noticed Kane was top lane. So when he killed Garen, that told me this was up for grabs. So I'm going to go ward this so I can see him coming. I'm going to go take this, and then watch Shaco in the bot lane. He sees what I'm doing, and we decide to throw a party for Kane. And you guessed it, it is a surprise party. So I didn't know how close he was. Right here I think I am trying to use the celerity to clear this faster, and I figure, you know what, I'm just going to play it safe. And surprise! And the funny thing is, that didn't even trigger the box, so when he comes back here, that's still going to be waiting for him. But anyway, now that we know he's dead, I figure, you know what, I can help myself to a chicken camp. And I don't even need to clear this whole thing because it's not mine. So usually I try to drain the healthy ones, and I leave a little present for him because it was a surprise party for him. It'd be rude not to do so, you know. So keep in mind, if I were running Ultimate Hat, this would have a lower cooldown. It would actually start at 10% because of the 5% that I have across the board. I think it's Insight or something like that. We can look at the end of the game. But like I said, the trade-off is do you think you'll need the mana? Because as your W is extremely mana intensive, sometimes Fiddle really does need the help. And I can say in retrospect, I regret nothing about taking the mana flow band. It really does carry its weight here. So one of the reasons why I wanted the cooldown reduction though is because the build I'm going to go for here is very light on CDR. It's going to be 20%. And that's also going to lower the cooldown on my Flash, since Flash is an extremely important spell for Fiddle. So anyway, I was predicting Kane's going to be around here sooner or later, so we need to secure some turf. And this is heartbreaking, man. I just missed him. So right there, Malphite gives his distress signal, and the important thing that you have to watch out for here is the cooldown on Crowstorm. That'll die to the burn, the red buff, I mean. And I can see Garen is in trouble. So right here I'm waiting, I figure he's gonna go down the river, I know it. So they have no CC between them because Malphite ulted. I can seriously sit here and drain them and they will die. Now what's unfortunate here is I don't actually have enough AP because he's gonna survive with just a sliver of health. I was kind of hoping the red buff would kill him, and if I had the Runic Echoes that would have done the trick, but I don't. So right here what I'm trying to do is just push the lane in so we can deny him some CS. You have to remember, he doesn't have teleport, he just used it to get back into lane, and... well, this is an opportunity for Garen to pull a little bit ahead. So anyway, in terms of gold, we should look at this. I have 500 over Kane, Garen is 1,000 over Malphite, Annie and Kale are close, it's only a 200 disparity there. Az is 300 over Caitlyn, and Shaco is almost 100 over Blitz. So if you didn't look at the minimap, Shaco is over here. He spends a lot of time over here because the enemy team just doesn't punish the Ez for being alone. Like, it's for this reason I'd say picking Blitz was a mistake if you aren't actually that good with him, because he only lands a couple pulls. There was one when they actually did kill Shaco, if you notice he has one death. But other than that, I think he may only land one more. So anyway, right here, Ez kind of screwed up. So here's Ez. This is where Ez was. And since my team was around, I figured, you know what? Let's try to do the dragon. And I thought this was warded based on how he moved, and I ended up giving myself away. Overall, it really doesn't matter because my team picked the absolute worst moment possible to go back. And I'm stuck here. I don't have Crowstorm, I don't have Flash. The best I could hope for was that. So right here, Garen is asking in chat what the hell happened, and in reality, the only thing I can say is they wanted it more. I mean, they showed up for it. They didn't do an extremely stupid recall. So he almost killed Ez there. But anyway, right now I have Runic Echoes, and I grabbed the Fiendish Codex to make Zanya's, which will give me my next little chunk of CDR. I'm going Lucid Boots for the last 10%. So if the game goes low enough, I think I would sell the Runic Echoes for a Morellonomicon, so I get 20% more CDR, and I'll also get some mana regen. That'll be mana regen on kill, yes, but it's going to be a little bit more helpful than just what the Runic Echoes does late. Overall, for Fiddle's mana costs, I think he really does need a bigger pool than the average character, and he doesn't. So first Blood Tower goes down mid. Wrong one. There we go. And eventually Kale will start taking the blue buff, even though she doesn't really offer that much. We have something going on down here. Bye-bye, Blitz. So I don't get the whole press the attack thing on Malphite. Because Grasp is at least keeping this guy healed. Oh yeah. Crud. We'll rewind that. So the important thing is, notice Crowstorm is up. So it's a little unfortunate that was warded. So I smite and drained her, and right here I'm just going to wait a bit. Waiting for the wave to push in, and here she comes. So right here I'm trying to delay her from stunning me. She does drop Tibbers. I pop the Zonias to break tower aggro, and it may not have... well, the stopwatch, I mean. It may not have necessarily been needed. So right there is when I found out, yeah, that was warded. So unfortunately right here I ran away from Kane. I guess since his ult was up, that would be a little annoying, because I should have been able to beat him. In order for him to actually do stuff this game, he has to go Rast form, because I can kill Shadow Assassin. I don't know if the Drain will actually still hit him while he's in Scythe form. It might, because it works for a lot of the other guys. And if it does, he is pretty screwed. So anyway, right there I have the Lucid Boots. I grabbed another Amp Tome. I don't have enough to actually finish the Zonias, so I have to walk around with this broken stopwatch for a little while. Anyway, with the CDR I have from the Codex, the Boots, and the blue buff, Crowstorm's only on about a 100-second cooldown, which is pretty good, and if I can get to level 11, rank 2 will make it even lower. Did they actually tell us how much damage Comet will do? No. So basically, in order for the Comet to connect, I either have to Blue Smite or Fear them, because I'm not going to be able to get a Rylai's until very close to the end of the game. So in case you're wondering what the build is, we have the Echoes, this is going to be the Zonias, we have Boots here, this would be Death Cap, this would be Void Staff, this would be Rylai's, and then, like I said, once you reach the end, you may want to sell this for the Merlinomicon. Anyway, let's jump over to Shaco. So right there they trade. And while we wait for me to do stuff, let's go peek in on Ez. So yes, the Malphite ult completely whiffs. Kale had no ult to give Ez. Wait for it. Pop! Down goes Kale. So right here, Garen and I make a play for the Herald. What I don't quite get is why Garen wants to just sit here and tank it. So right here I go ahead and pop the eye. And right here I'm just trying to draw its fire because I heal. It's really that simple. And now keep in mind, if not for the mana flow band, I'd probably have to recall after this. The Runic Echoes itself is going to give you a little bit to keep you moving, it's just Fiddle doesn't really generate stacks that well. It'd be nice if they actually gave you like a number, but just 15% of missing mana. So right here I was kind of skeptical we'd be able to get him. Right there I just want to give him the red buff so that it delays his passive so we can push this in. Right here I don't have the mana, in case you're wondering why I'm just sitting here. So Kane is right there in the wings. And ultimately I go down. Right here I was kind of confused on why Garen holds onto his ult for a very long time. He's going to commit suicide in the tower though, because look at Malphite's ult. There it is. So unlike the Ivern game, I actually do like to move the camera around here because my teammates are doing good stuff, with the one exception. Wasn't really intending it, but it may end up working out that this weekend is all about the less common junglers. Ivern, Fiddle. We also have Zack and Vi, I think. Total of 4 games. This would be number 3, though. So right there, that was a very premature ult on her part. So Garen showed up to the party. And Blitz does go down. And then so does Annie. Have to smite her like the minion she is. So, keep in mind Garen has this, and after crushing the mid and the support, this is the time you want to drop this. So right here I'm cool to go on Arcane. Garen is taking it. And the Herald's in pretty good shape. So I think the bot lane inhibitor tower just went down. And this is pretty much when their base just starts to collapse. I should point out, if you notice, Kale has the blue buff here. Hey, he landed one. And that was actually a good ult on her part. So while all this is going on, I'm going to solo the water dragon. So close, Garen. Denied as. Sadly, this takes me a little while because I'm still not really high up here in terms of AP. I'm only at about 200. I actually will break 200 when I use the celerity. So anyway, while all this is going on, Shaco's pushing that into the Nexus. Like 20 minutes later, here I am, still working on this. I do have to finish Zonia's, it's just I need one more item in order to really matter. You can see that Drain can deal up to 1200, but the Dragon does have MR. So we missed it when they committed suicide to Shaco clone. And hopefully you can see how stompy this game is getting. So real quick while we wait for the next fight, let's look at the gold numbers. I am almost 1,000 gold over Kane. Garen's 1,500 over Malphite. Kale is up 2,500-ish over Annie. Ez is 2.5 over Kate. And then Shaco's 3,000 over Blitz. And right here it was warded, damn it. So right here I'm trying to keep him from ulting to safety. So I want to lead off into the silence. I use the silence duration to approach. As the silence fades off, I fear him, and basically he melts. So it's worth pointing out, if you look at his build, he has no MR. This is all armor. At this point, like, all the damage I deal, the vast majority of it is going to be inflicted on Malphite, just because the other guys can at least mitigate it a little bit. Although, granted, none of them have any MR either, so they're kind of just handing me the game. But anyway, rank 2 ult, so it's 105 seconds because I don't have a blue buff at the moment. Can't believe I walked by that. I didn't even peek in the brush. That was a really odd spot for a pink ward, though. So right here I realize, yeah, they're going to recall before I get there. I'm just going to clear the wave. Need these to come close enough so I can kill all 3 with the Dark Wind.
Blue team double kill.
And I'm the only guy still standing. So they actually didn't get the inhibitor turret in the bot lane. That one is still standing. It's the top one that's exposed. Anyway, I now have the needlessly large rods. That puts me at about 250 AP. And keep in mind, when I Crowstorm in, I do get the celerity boost. And in case you're wondering about celerity, that does work off of the boots and the movement speed you get from the Runic Echoes, so it's going to be, like, it's, at early game I think it's 1 AP, but I can get up to like 15 from it. So it's not quite an amp tome, but it's just handy for letting you get in position, and then gives you a little bit of extra damage for doing so. And overall, at this stage of the game, I should have actually switched over to a red trinket. The thing is, at this stage, it's actually over. The enemy just doesn't have anything they can do. Their base is completely exposed. They can't really afford to leave. If they go into their jungle, we tend to kill them. If you don't believe me, watch in 10 seconds. And we can just grab Baron and then push in. So there they are. There's the Crowstorm. So I have to fear Caitlyn. I silence her, blue smite her, drain her, and down she goes. So right here's the surrender mode. Sadly, they do throw in the towel before Malphite dies. So close. I think that Ez ult would have killed him if not for the whole invulnerability thing. So 626, and I'll show you the rune page and everything. So let's jump over to collection. So Cosmic Insight and Perfect Timing were the two sub-ones. Maniflow Band, Celerity, Gathering Storm, Arcane Comet. And if you didn't see what my rank was, that was an S. So I got a Fiddlesticks token. So I'm starting to build a nice little collection here, and, well, I have the Fiddlesticks token. That's the good news. I just need the ones for the other guys. But anyway, someone you don't see too often these days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.